What up, fam? Birds of a Feather, Tuesday night live on A2DRadio.com from the Real Talk Studios. Chrome, Kevin, Chucksy Boy, Mr. Ryan Brodo over on the ones and twos. We're brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy with our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal. You can find him in Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, New Jersey. Find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment needed. Go see our doctor, Dr. Vidal, the man. Our topic of conversation is brought to you by ATS Sports Picks. Check out the site, atsportspicks.com. Use the promo code A2D Radio, 20%. I'm sorry, A2D. My bad. A2D. Don't put radio in there. You get 20% off any first-time purchase on a package there. And listen, it's for all our betting junkies out there who like to make money. We like when you make money. We like when you make money and spend it on A2D merch and everything else, whatever makes your heart's desire. You know what? You could spend it on Disney Plus because it's Happy Disney Plus Day, guys.
Unless if you have Verizon.
Yeah, if you get Verizon, you get it free. I'm not plugging Verizon right now. Kiss my ass. But our topic of conversation, the Eagles will beat either the Patriots or the Seahawks. Agree, disagree. It's second half talk, guys. We're through the bye week. And as far as the division goes, hey, it's a whole new ball game for us. Hey, you guys, your last game didn't win, right?
We did not.
So you guys are winless over 2 weeks now.
Well,
the Dolphins have won.
yeah.
The Dolphins have won 2 games since you last won a football game.
Yep.
Just curious. I just want to make sure I throw that out there. The road to 9-7 still lives. We're happy to be back. I missed last week. I miss you boys. I miss Brodo. I haven't seen Ryan in what feels like forever at this point. But happy to be back. I was tired last week, boys. I was asleep real early. Real friggin' early.
How early?
I think I popped on, said hello, dropped like 2 comments in, and I might have been asleep before I even got off. So if you said hi and bye to me, thank you. But I'm happy to be back. It's going to be a fun show tonight, guys. But real quick, how good was that Monday Night Football game last night?
It was the game of the year.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Game of the year.
Like,
I don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah, no disrespect to the rest of our content, but I just had to throw that out there. What a game last night. The Seahawks are for real.
They're both for real.
I know.
Yeah.
But we kind of, I think, at least for our standpoint, kind of figure the 49ers are for real. But, I mean, you guys have talked about it a lot. Russell Wilson, I saw you posting about it. I mean, is there a question he's the MVP of the league right now?
I think the only question is if a running back can win it in McCaffrey. But knowing the way the league trends,
Fair point.
There's no one else out there right now.
Lamar Jackson would be second in my book.
Another guy.
I would put him second, but to me, it's Russell Wilson.
Who did he beat this year?
Who?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, and the Ravens, they beat, let's see, maybe I think this past Sunday they beat the Bengals, and the week before, I think in prime time they beat
Go ahead.
Who did they beat?
Go
ahead. Who did they beat?
I believe it was guy was wearing that jersey.
And I'm a little rusty, by the way. So, quick shout out to our Twitter fam, Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube. Time to interact, guys. Time to talk about it. We got lots on the agenda tonight. We're going to talk second half preview. Go through, we'll talk obviously about the Brandon Brooks extension, which I think is well deserved. I mean, I know you're not big on the what is it, Pro Football? What's the ranking? PFF.
Yeah.
But he's ranked the number 1 offensive lineman in football.
Yes, he is.
So we'll listen to them in that case.
Yeah.
we'll accept that.
Put it this way: when it comes to PFF grades, I don't put a lot of stock in them, but they are a baseline. And if you know statistics and analytics and stuff like that, if you ever studied like in college and stuff like that, like a baseline is like, okay, it's like, think of it like a starting point. It's like, where are you going to start off with your conversation? PFF grades, you can disagree. I disagree with them a lot, but they are a baseline. They're like I can look at this and say, all right, this is kind of like a roundabout of where players are going to be. I might disagree exactly where they are, but like it's a measuring stick. It's like a general idea because they do they watch a lot of film, and I don't want to completely poo-poo on them before we get too much into tangent. They do a lot. They do their work and they're high on analytics. I just have an issue with like their grading formula. Like they're missing stuff, so their grades are flawed. They're skewed, but they do a lot of their homework and it's a baseline. So I mean, Brandon Brooks, you don't need a PFF grade if you've watched him all year to know that he is playing like the best offensive guard in the league this year. Like he absolutely is. He hasn't let up a sack, I don't even think he's let up a pressure this year all season. So it's unbelievable stuff from Brandon Brooks. Absolutely deserved it. I don't think, regardless of how you feel about how we're giving money to this person, this player we have, any of the veterans we have, Brandon Brooks is one of the ones that absolutely deserves it. There's no denying it, and having Kelsey, him, and Lane locked up for the next few years is pivotal. That right side of the line, you have to lock them up.
Is there any concern, though? So, I mean, the 3 extensions that we've really put out there, he would be the youngest of that, just hitting 30 years old. But you're talking about guys that are 30-plus. Kelsey at 32.
Yeah.
Lane's
28, I think.
Yeah. So he would be the youngest. But I'm talking about just the extensions that have happened over the last year.
Yeah.
Is there concern, considering how this team is continuing to age, that we're locking up? I'm taking Brandon Brooks kind of out of it, but you can't because he just turned 30.
No, yeah, I understand.
He would be the least of my worries, but is there worries that we're continuing to get older and we're locking up these guys at advanced ages?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, now I do know, when you talk about the offensive line position particularly, those guys grade a little bit higher later in age because of the position. We're not talking about a skill position like a wide receiver or a running back who's taking the wear and tear, but still, for a team that's the third or second or third, oldest team in the league, there has to be a little bit more of a youth shift. So do we get concerned that we're continuing to lock up these guys at an advanced age?
Absolutely, and I think you're starting to see already, and I know there are some out there that are going to really disagree with my statement here, but you're starting to see a decline in Alshon. We just gave Alshon a new contract. And this season so far, he's looked like a shell of himself.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good.
His injuries have seen. I know we talked about it, me and you, Kev, last week, right. But he hasn't looked the same. He hasn't looked like the wide receiver 1 of 2017 that we used to have. And I don't know what's going on. Even with Malcolm Jenkins, I know he didn't get his extension that he wanted, but I mean, kind of thank God that Howie didn't pull the trigger on that because he's declined massively. Bradham has declined. Who else got an extension recently? Graham. I think Graham has stayed even kill. I think the second half of last year, up until here, he hasn't really declined. He hasn't improved. I mean, you wouldn't really expect a 30-something-year-old player to improve, but he hasn't really declined. He's been who he is. Who was the other guy that you mentioned got an extension recently? Was it Kelsey? Did Kelsey get an extension recently?
Kelsey is one of the three. He's one of the three offense. He was over the last year. He was one of the extensions. He was extended in the offseason. No. When I brought up those 3 names, I was reading about it particularly today. Since the offseason, there's 3 guys who are 30+ now, including Brandon Brooks, on the offensive line that have received extensions since the offseason.
Kelsey, I think, it's still also been fine. But to your point, is absolutely warranted. You're the thing you bring up, and my friend Rob brings it up all the time. It's absolutely warranted. The old age signing guys. I mean, you can't avoid it. You have especially with Kelsey and Brooks, you have to sign them. But it is a concern. It absolutely is a concern.
And obviously, whenever it finally happens that Jason Peters is gone and steps aside, that's going to be a huge drop-off in terms of the average age of the offensive line alone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you're going to go from, a 38-year-old to a
22.
22-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a difference. But
For me, it all depends on where the money's at because obviously the Patriots do it almost on every contract. Is they move the money around a little bit. It's not even displaced over the length of a contract. So if a guy gets a 2 or 3 year deal, you can have almost all of the guaranteed money paid out year 1 or 2. Where if you see a decline, hey, no harm, no foul. We were in win now mode in those first 2 years when we re-signed you. So come year 3, if you're over the hump, if we can cut you with no real detriment to the cap, and vice versa. If you have a younger guy that you think is in that 28 range, where you think he's especially in later round draft picks that might not excel until they've been in the league for a couple years, 4 or 5 years, you could back end it. Same thing. Say, hey, we're in win now mode, so we need 4 or 5 pieces to help get us to where we need to be. Back end the money at where you fill in like 1 year deals where it's not going to matter for you.
So I think Brooks is what 4 years. I want to say $53 million if I'm correct. $30 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Makes him the 3rd highest paid offensive lineman, I believe, in the game. But
something like that. The
somewhere
highest
I read
guard. Definitely
right.
the highest guard.
Well, I read that he has definitely got the potential to end up being the number 1. I don't know if there's bonuses or something in there. Maybe I don't remember.
I didn't read that part. Yeah, I didn't read that.
Maybe I'll check it out on the break. But I think well deserved. I mean, talk about what this guy came back from too. 7 months ago, this guy has, what was it, ACL or an Achilles? Achilles, yeah. That's like the worst.
That's worse than
worst.
ACL.
Trust me, I just stretched mine, slipping in the rain, and I didn't feel like walking for 2 weeks. So a complete tear, I couldn't only imagine.
And we always knew you were a pansy. Mikey Klinkoff over on the Facebook. What's up, fellas? What's up, Clanky? Andy Ritter. So real talk. What is Kevin doing when his Pats lose? What is Chuck's doing if the Eagles lose? Well, we're all going to be watching together. I can tell you that, Andy. He says, how much Disney Plus talk is going to happen tonight? LOL.
Probably
I was wondering if you two would pry yourselves away long enough to do a show. We did. Don't worry. I got Steamboat Willie on tap for after the show. We're good. Jake Friel says, my guys, what's up to the poll question? I definitely agree. Frank says, hey, yo, sorry to bother you at work. To answer the poll, they have a great chance to win against the Seahawks thanks to the schedule flex. That's going to be huge. He says, but I really hope that the Eagles took notes from the Ravens game and have a good chance in beating the Pats. Bill Middlebrook, which I was actually going to bring up, says they need to sign Howard next. Do we believe that Howard will get extended in season?
Yeah, I think it'll be off season, to be honest.
That's spectacular, by the way. Spectacular. There's breaking news, guys, from A2D Live. Kevin slipped in the rain. Kevin slipped in the rain.
Hey, it happens.
Stretched out his Achilles, and he did not want to walk. Reports say he didn't want to walk for a week.
I was wearing a brace for almost 2 weeks.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's what happens when you get old.
When you get old, you're like,
You're my age! What are we doing? I wasn't even going to say anything. But hello! You're my age!
oh, my God.
Doesn't take much. Ralph
Apparently
Delavecchio chimes in, says, fuck the Pats.
Whoa. Strong.
Bill
strong
Middlebrook
words there.
says, I've seen a lot of 23 to 27-year-old cornerbacks and wide receivers released in the last few days. Do any of you think Howie makes a move in free agency?
No.
I don't think.
Not for them.
Not at this time.
I mean, at this point, if you're cut or released, I mean, there's a reason why you're not on the team. I mean, it's not just.
And I think with the guys we have healthy now, I think he'd rather roll with them because they're familiar with the system.
Bro, we just bought the GOAT
Then
back,
the-
J-Matt. We're good. James Tatum says, as the newest member of the ATD fam, you guys are the bomb. Love you guys and keep grinding, doing your thing.
Grinding.
Appreciate you. James is on the weekly roundup now with Mr. Jake Friel. You could use a little blessing on that Achilles there, buddy.
Yes, I could.
Tom Arnone says, what's up, my boys? To the poll question, he absolutely agrees. Dion says, what's good, guys? Great to see your poll question. Yes, Eagles win either both or one of the two. I'd rather knock off the Seahawks because it's a conference game. Agree with that, by the way, Dion, if you're only going to get one. But beating Tom and Bill again is comforting. Agree with that. And we could have a week full of fun with Kevin. And hopefully the Dolphins win again this week, and then I could say it was 3 games in a row.
Almost a full month. Jeez, I won't be able to.
Who do they
listen,
play
so.
this week?
I have to look up. I don't know. I have it as a win on the schedule, though. Greg
Obviously.
says, what's up, fellas? Hashtag disagree to the poll. I'm sure I'm wrong, but what else is new? Yes, Greg, please
Yeah, what else is
disagree with
new, Greg?
everything because
Yeah.
you are the jinx.
Yeah.
Anything over on the tube, Mr. Brodo?
Yeah, we got a little bit. A lot of the fam are over on Facebook right now, but we have Trayvon Dixon saying,
What's
hey,
up,
y'all.
Trayvon?
We have Jalen Williams saying,
Hey,
what
y'all.
up, fam? David Roscoe
What?
talking about Tony La Russa in the Anaheim Angels.
Yep, I saw that.
King Cliff says, what's up, fellas?
win that game.
Foolish Demon says, hey, guys, I'm on my break at work. Just wanted to say hello. Flag was fly.
Foolish Demon, my guy. Mike Schilt,
Foolish.
manager of the year.
He also says, hashtag fire Mike Grow. Agreed.
Yeah, agree with that, buddy.
And
We all agree.
Then he also said, to finish off YouTube for now, he says, I predicted Eagles sweep the AFC East. I'm sticking to that.
Love it. Love it. The Dolphins have the Bills this week. It's a winnable game,
Oh, yeah.
and it's in Miami.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Josh Allen, you kidding me?
Partying down in Miami,
No,
too.
it's Fitz, buddy. Oh, yeah, Josh
No, no,
Allen.
I'm
I'm
talking
thinking
about
Josh
Bills.
Rosen. I'm sorry. I'm so used to you guys knocking Josh Rosen that I'm just immediately I hear Josh when it comes to a Dolphins game, and I'm ready. I'm defensive already. Fuck you guys. Fitz magic, baby. I'm just saying. It's happening. It is happening. Oh, shit. That's all right.
There
I
you
can
go.
sit
Well,
on
now
the
you're
edge.
going to live with it until the break. It's okay.
We're good.
We're
Break.
professionals with that on Wednesdays.
I think I sprained my
So-
Achilles.
Did you slip?
Careful.
Did you slip in the
I
rain?
Slip in the rain.
Breaking news: I slipped on the rain and the chair went down.
Worst
Bill Middlebrook, the Finns are home against the Bills. Yes, it is a winnable game, and I'm going to ride it out. I'm riding this ship all the way to the end of the season, baby, and that's going to be the Super Bowl when they win the Super Bowl over us. You watch, Fitz magic, baby, getting his first ring.
I definitely missed this.
I did not.
See, Ralph?
Ralph said Chrome broke the fucking chair. Shut up, Ralph. Ralph, did you sit in this? Did you set me up?
Listen, he did produce an hour
Did
ago.
you set me up for this, Ralph? Did you know I was coming back and you set me up?
Oh,
You
God.
crumb.
Watch this, bro. We're going to fix Chrome's chair, bro.
You got to have a little bit more squeaky voice for the... A little bit squeakier.
I can't get up that high.
You can't get off the rails already. Wonderful.
He says,
What
no
the fu-
fat guy at A2D has broken a chair.
What are
All
you
the
talking
skinny
about?
dudes have.
Greg's chair broke after the second week. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hey, Greg will tell you that.
Don't you try to change the narrative
Oh, my
there, you
God.
Laker crumb.
You are
Oh
fake
my
news.
God.
He is
You are
fake
fake
news.
news.
Ralph, did your stomach recover after all those chicken sandwiches?
No, it dude. It was
I'd
a
hate-
situation.
I was watching live, and I was worried for him. On the contrary of what a crumb you are, Ralph, I was worried for your
Oh
health and
my
well-being.
God.
We didn't see that kid for an hour
Oh my god.
after because he was producing AM and the PM. We forgot he was even here, and all of a sudden we hear the door slam. Oh, who is it? Oh, Ralph's still here. That's right.
Oh, I hope you guys really scrub down that toilet after that.
we gotta
That
get
is not my job.
we gotta get the A2D staff on some type
he
of
said
like
he said
health
sweeps
plan.
broke that, and he said fuck Popeyes.
You enjoyed that sandwich, don't you? Lie?
God.
I watched your review video. You were all about it.
He was so happy.
He was so happy.
Oh, those pickles.
Are you serious?
Got a lot of pickles on.
Oh my god.
It's good stuff.
Bruno, we gotta get A2D staff on like some type of diet plan at this rate. Because if we can't, at this rate, all the chairs will be broken.
I would be the one to talk to.
We'll be sitting on stools soon.
On the floor.
He's
You
gonna
know,
say-
No,
we'll be
we'll-
sitting on the
You're gonna tune
floor.
in. You're just gonna see our heads poking out. We're all Indian style on the
It'll
ground.
be beanbag chairs. Because those are very form-fitting. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
They're
god.
very form-fitting.
They are.
Have you seen those? Oh, we're really off the rails. Have you seen those love sack bean pillows? Like they're called love sacks. So like it's I trust
Love is
me.
in the air.
Trust me.
When I
They're-
hear love sack, I don't.
I
immediately
know.
Go to
I
a
know.
charity.
It's crazy.
Kraft said, "Fuck a diet."
But look it up. They're like think of like a beanbag on steroids where you lie in it. It's huge. It's like
Aren't
literally
they
the
long?
size of they're long, but they're the size of like
Oh,
one of them
wow.
is the size of like all these chairs put together, and you lie in it, and it's like the most comfy thing in the world.
Well.
If you get them for the studio, none of us are getting
Ralph
up.
says, "If you're not fat, you ain't living life." And Jake says, "We'll all be sitting Indian style on the floor."
Listen, Chucks, that's a great idea. Just send an email to A2D Corporate, and they'll get back to you.
Yeah, because that fit in our budget.
Wait.
Send the email. Send a fax. Send a fax. They'll get back to you.
It's like at my work where they have like a suggestion box or kill a stupid rule, and it's like supposed to be anonymous. Chucks will just start putting suggestion box
Every
in.
day in the morning. Good morning, all. Do we have an update on the love sack?
I think it'll be very beneficial.
It might be.
It's gonna be great for posture.
All of us are going to be standing in a month. The camera's going to be. The camera's going to have the ceiling on it.
Everything's gonna be elevated.
Yeah, especially when Wilson's here.
The tables.
Because of how tall Wilson
Yeah.
is.
But then I'm gonna have an extra stool to stand on.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah,
Chuck,
I'm gonna-
it's a good
You don't
thing
even
you and
see
Wilson
Chuck's.
aren't on the same show because it'll be the camera's up here and Chuck's is not going to be in the frame.
It'll be like you remember Deuce Bigelow when he goes out with a really
Yes,
tall
yes.
chick, and it's like every time he's on the camera frame, you never see her head.
Yeah,
That's Chucks
that's
and Wilson.
gonna be me and Wilson. You're gonna have like an iPhone, a new iPhone with the camera and just zoom out and vertical, and like all the way far back.
Ralph
We might need to have you Skype in.
says, Greg Milakovic, they're trying to make us go on a diet. Unreal.
No, we're not trying. We know better than that.
Yeah,
we know better than that.
We already know how that's going to turn out.
We're
I
just
love-
analyzing. That's
I
all.
love food too much. There's no-
Dion, I know. Today we walk into the studio because I'm like eating better now, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, there's a difference between me and Chuck's. Chuck's has the taquitos, and I pull out the fruit cups.
Meanwhile, you
couldn't
spill it all over
That-
your
That I couldn't open. I spilled it because they filled the juice all the way up, all over myself. It looked like I pissed myself.
Maybe that's why the chair broke. Maybe the water levels right.
too much juice, right?
Too much juice. The juice greased the bottom of the
The
chair.
water
yeah.
pressure was too much for it.
Write a letter to corporate.
Chrome, it's your
There you
turn.
go.
Then I couldn't figure out how to open it. I couldn't figure out how to get the plastic fork off. Didn't realize there was a plastic fork on the other one, so I ate the one I wanted to eat second first. It was a mess.
It was bad.
Dion says, I will say this. The key to victory on Sunday is to run the football. New England can be
We're
ran
talking
on all
football
day. Alshon has his best game of the season on Sunday. Early prediction. Oh, and get to Tom as fast as we can, but get the ball.
Get the Tom.
Let me reread this. Oh, and get to Tom as fast as we can, but gets the ball so quick, I can still see 3 to 4 sacks on him at home. I can.
So here's your issue: is even now at 42, Brady has statistically the fastest release time in the league.
Yeah, he gets
it's-
out of the ball.
it's-
Get rid of the ball.
So I think the number was 2.5 seconds is the average time that the quarterback releases the ball that you have to get there. Brady is almost at 2 seconds. So you'll hit him, but it won't be a sack.
Yeah. That's
I
true.
don't think we're gonna get any sacks. Maybe
I don't either.
one. Maybe one.
Bill says Patriots' only weakness, which isn't much, is against mobile running quarterbacks. This game will solely on him. Sanders and Howard. Jake says Chrome let the juice loose. I did.
But the juice
All
loose.
over my pants.
I mean, if you go back and you watch the Ravens game, which, yes, they lost. I get it.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to go there, but since you did.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't gonna
starting
bring it
to
up.
preface it. The the run game didn't beat us. Lamar Jackson did. The only reason
It's part of
why,
the run game.
I mean, as far as saying
When they count his rushing yards, does it go into a quarterback rushing yards category, or does it go into the rushing yards against the team?
Listen.
The running attack didn't beat us. Just Lamar
Just the
Jackson's
quarterback
legs.
who rushed
Sorry.
against us.
Quarterback
beat
legs
us.
beat us.
the running backs did not beat us in the run game.
All right. Fair
Okay,
enough.
there you go. Amend your statement.
The
Wait. What
They're-
was the last part you said? Beat us, right?
yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
want to make sure.
Yeah, they beat us. We got it. The running backs beat us. Running backs did not beat us. It was Lamar Jackson,
He did.
choosing so well which part of the option to go with, and I don't think that Wentz can do it nearly at that level, especially after injuries. Can he? Sure, but as quickly and as smart as Lamar's doing it right now, no.
Well, it's different offense. We don't run that.
Right, but
we don't run that stuff.
But if the fam is saying that the only way to beat us is with the run game, is the only run game that's beaten us so far is with a mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
and you don't have it, so
no, I hear what you're
it's
saying.
not really an option.
I hear what you're saying. I think this is what, if I'm Doug Peterson, I think this is what the game plan should be, because if we know Bill Belichick, he's going to take away the thing we do best. And the thing we've done best the past 2 weeks, I believe, is use our tight ends. I honestly believe he is going to force, because he knows Wentz can't pass to their wide receivers. So he's going to take away Goddard and Wentz. So he's going to make us run the ball. Now, I mean, I know that's a lot of fans are going to say, oh, that's what we want to do. But, I mean, you can run the ball so much, but you still have to pass it in order to beat, especially a defense like this. You're going to have to pass the ball. He's going to take away the tight ends. I believe if you're Doug Peterson, you have to do similar things that you've done in the past 2 games, but crank it up. Where I've talked about it several times, past 2 games, they've beaten the Bills and the Bears, and a theme of offensively that they've done is misdirection and deception. You have to get this defense moving. You want Kevin, you said that Lamar Jackson making the right reads on read options and stuff like that is what beat you guys. Well, break it down to its core. What is it about those read options that got the defense guessing? It's the deception and making them second guess, making them hesitate. Timing. Waiting for the flow and reacting instead of just going with it. When you do that, that's when this defense can be had a little bit. So you have, as Doug Peterson, you have to keep going with the misdirection, deception, play action, pump fake. So you have to you really have to fake one way and go the other way. You have to get plays that you've shown on tape weeks before, show as if pre-snap you're going with that, and then go a different way. You have to and it has to be at an all-time, a completely higher level than even the past 2 games. That's the way offensively you beat this Patriots defense, by keep them guessing, keep them on their heels. Because if you don't keep them guessing, if they know what you're going to run and they're expecting it, and they will if you don't change it up, they're going to beat you. The Patriots defense is going to beat you.
Yeah, even because if you go back and look at the game, even with it being a that defensive line getting torn apart by the run game, you had A, the game close, and B, 2 mistakes on the defense or on the offensive side with Edelman's fumble and Brady throwing an interception that you're going to have to reproduce and win the turnover battle too. On top of it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, turnovers that goes without saying. You have to win the turnover battle, especially against the Patriots.
To get to the poll question, I agree. I actually would have liked to have seen the poll question be more of the Eagles will win both games, and I do believe that the Eagles will win both games. I don't think their next loss comes until they play Miami, because then Miami's going 9-7.
I'll send this to the wife.
Yeah.
Research.
The guys supplied me with some content.
Yeah, I know you've been searching for.
Listen, it's a sign. They just dropped it 30 minutes ago. This is happening now.
But yes, the Dolphins will be the next loss for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I have to disagree to the poll. I think that they lose both games.
Is nobody going to react to that? Is nobody going to say anything to that?
I already commented earlier. I was saying, okay, if you have the Dolphins finishing 9-7, so that means you have them beating the Eagles. And he said, yeah.
I said, book it.
I'm like,
I don't even listen to it anymore.
I mean, people reacted just now like he just said it's going to rain tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that makes sense. There's a good chance of that.
Because it's gone beyond that line, so I'm just like,
I mean, people will be crying in the streets if we go win-win and then we lose to them. There will be people crying in the streets, except for Crow.
Win, then lose.
Yes.
How
But then-
hard? You're going to be seeing such
I'll just like put
disarray.
my head down, like kick a rock, and then we're good. All right, we're back to it. But hopefully, I don't sprain my Achilles or anything.
Your
Hopefully,
Achilles.
hopefully I
It's a-
don't
it's a
slip in the
real
rain
deal.
or anything like that when I'm kicking the rock. You know.
Oh my God.
It's really
Uh,
serious, actually.
I think they win both games.
And I think you're wrong, but that's okay.
I think that you're stupid. Shut your mouth.
This has been a great show.
This is what happens when you get me here. It just gets ridiculous. I don't know what you want from me. I'm sorry, guys. Why am I wrong? You tell me why I'm wrong.
So they're going to lose both
Well,
games.
that was a
That's why you're
stupid
wrong.
point. That was a stupid point. You made no points there. No valid points. You lose.
Say the line.
Just remember, the Dolphins have won 2 games since you won your last football game.
So,
A little Fitz magic sprinkled on them Patriots.
Fats Patrick.
Crow's like freaking Willy Wonka.
I-
You lose. Good day, sir.
Now, I think after watching,
I said good day.
I think after watching last night's game, I think Russell Wilson. We had the conversation earlier. He's going to be the MVP, and I don't think after having your hearts broken this Sunday that you put the pieces back together and win the following Sunday. It's just not going to happen.
I think last week I was of the notion that I believed we were going to lose to the Patriots and win against the Seahawks. But this week,
You got it
I
the other way
flipped it.
around. Yeah.
I think we beat the Patriots and lose to the Seahawks. I think that we've been so, and especially me, I've been so harped on the fact that, it's Bill Belichick. He is a genius, and he is. And, coming off of a loss and he has 2 weeks to prepare, that's crazy. However, we haven't focused enough on the fact that Doug Peterson also has had 2 weeks to prepare. And the last time Doug had 2 weeks to prepare against Bill Belichick, what happened, Ryan?
Kevin, I'll let you take this one, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, on to the next topic.
So that's something to take note of because
Yes.
it's not like the Patriots are facing a team that is not off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
We are also coming off of bye. We are also making adjustments at the bye week, and Doug has extra time to prepare his squad.
But the Patriots do everything better than everybody.
Oh yeah, they do.
Plenty of time to set up the film equipment, do some recording,
Oh yeah.
study some practices, study some of that stuff.
Get some tape.
Now, did you guys hear what our wide receivers coach said about one Mac Hollins?
Yeah, he needs to go.
I guess he doesn't watch football.
He needs to
Did
go.
anyone else hear this?
No.
So he had this to say about Mac Hollins. Quote, at the end of the day, when Mac Hollins grades out for us, he's talking about grading, he's one of our top graders every week because he aligns right, he assigns right, and he plays with great effort. We believe when the ball comes Mac's way, he's going to make a play for us. What? What?
Yeah, it really pissed me off.
What?
I was really annoyed reading that.
So if Ralphie puts a helmet on and he lines up the right way, he's going to grade positively because Ralphie's going to give us max effort with Popeye's chicken sandwiches hanging out of his mouth and falling out of his pockets. But he's going to grade.
He's going to make the right reads too.
This is ridiculous.
When the ball comes his way. Carson Walsh, because that's his name, and I don't like that it's so close to Carson
I know,
Wentz.
I know, it's
It makes
weird.
me uncomfortable.
It's really weird.
Mr. Walsh, why on earth would the ball come his way? Why?
Well, it's definitely not.
And it's
not now.
There's a reason. Like, you have guys online that are still defending Mac Hollins, saying, "Oh, he doesn't get targeted enough, and that's by coach's design. That's not Mac Hollins' fault." No, that is the fact that he doesn't get the ball is all his fault.
Yep.
That is
Sucks.
his. Mac Hollins does not get open nearly enough as he's to be a reliable receiver. But the 1 or 2 plays he does get open, Wentz doesn't throw his way. And I want to know, why doesn't he throw his way? Because he doesn't trust him.
Listen.
Wentz doesn't trust Mac Hollins.
Last year, we forgot this guy was even a part of this football team because he was stuck in oblivion somewhere. Then he came out, and he's on the roster this year, and I still forgot he was a part of this football team until the talk of Jordan Matthews coming back came in, and all of a sudden people love Mac Hollins. They love Mac
It's
Hollins.
the craziest thing.
Did they mistake his special teams grades for his wide receiver?
For a wide receiver.
What's his special teams grades this year?
A lot of
Tell me what his grade is. Is it an A for effort? Is it a thumbs up? Because he doesn't do shit on special teams either.
He doesn't even play special teams anymore because Doug said he wants Mac to have more time to focus on offense. So he's not even a special teams guy anymore.
He couldn't even make the special teams.
apparently he run blocks
That's
well.
code for. That's code for.
Apparently he run blocks well.
Oh,
That's code for. He
wait.
sucks on special teams now too.
Chucks, you mean he run blocks well when he gets that ridiculous holding call,
penalty,
which was not even
Sanders,
necessary for him to do?
11-yard run by Sanders.
Yeah. Wow.
That one.
He has more
That
penalty yards than he has offensive yards.
Yeah. He
And that's
is,
not a lie. That's
as
not
I
fake news.
said,
He actually does.
last
He actually
week,
does.
and Ryan and Crum, you weren't here, so I'm going to say it again. He's not even contributing nothing. He's contributing less than nothing. He is negative value on offense. Negative.
He's contributing to my agita that I'm having right now.
Is it fair to say that we could very possibly have not only the worst receiver in the league, but the worst cornerback in the league? Cindy Jones?
Yeah.
We might have both of them. And they're like,
I think PFF graded him very, very low.
how is that possible? We have the worst cornerback in the league and the worst wide receiver in the
Yeah.
league, and they were both high draft picks.
You know-
Like Matt Collins wasn't a seventh. What was he, a
Fourth,
third?
Fourth.
A fourth.
So he's a mid pick. Yeah.
You know who's
Still.
got the
But he was still he's getting starter snaps on this offense.
I don't
and
give a
it's
damn.
No, it's what I'm saying is it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That he's getting starter snaps on this offense. I honestly, and I have nothing to base this on. I have no reports to rely on or anything. But half of it is gut, half of it is hope. But I am predicting that from here on out, we will see more of J. Jaw and less of Matt Collins. Again, no reports to base out off of. But I believe with this break, I think we see more of the rookie and less of Hollins on offense. So
Give me more Jordan Matthews than either of them combined.
no, I agree. What I'm saying is like out of those two, I think you start to see more more Matthews, more J. Jaw, less Aguilar, less Hollins.
Let's get back to the fam. And over on the Facebook, Bill Middlebrook says, I hate to even say this, but we only beat the Bears 22-14, and anybody with half of a brain knows the Pats are better than the Bears on both sides of the ball. Well, they don't have Mitchie Poo, though. The only reason I have some hope is the line in Vegas only being 3.5. It's like they are begging people to take the Pats. Dion says, the way this team is playing up until the Bills and Bears game wouldn't surprise me if they let one slip away down in Miami. But the focus now is New England. I like where your head's at, Dion. I agree with you there. Peter Evans says, what's up, Pete? From the Friday Night Delights, Friday Night Philly Sports Guys. Pete and Aaron. He says they will go 1-1, possibly 2-0. Book it.
Let's go.
Bill says,
Get one win.
we got to not think about an injury and have a 5-6 design running plays with Wentz. Need to get them thinking about the Ravens game. Let's go. Anything over on the tube, Mr. Brodo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we have Cool P saying Eagles are going to beat both the Patriots and the Seahawks.
I'm digging you, Cool P. I like it.
He also says, what's up, guys? Then we have our favorite Cowboy fan, Harlem
Of course.
Cowboy.
Hey!
5-4 buddies.
Great
He's-
game this week.
He says, what's up, fellas? Can I get a how about them Cowboys?
No.
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 Cool B responds to Harlem Cowboy and says,
Hey, how about them great Dak videos out there on social media?
yes. Harlem Cowboy also says, now we need the Patriots to smack Philly. Oh, wouldn't you be so lucky? And then we have Cool P saying we're winning both games. Harlem Cowboy saying Wentz is not good enough to beat the Patriots defense. And then David Roska saying Rams will win this Sunday live. I don't know what the live means. I guess he means he's going to be watching the game live.
I guess so.
Doesn't any team win live? They have to be there to win.
Maybe David was just reminding us. I'm not sure.
Maybe he's just telling us to live our lives.
Liv, thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Let's embrace every day and live our lives like it's our last.
Yes.
I mean, when you have Achilles
you.
sprains
When
like
you
me, you've
slip in the
got to.
rain, yeah.
When you slip in
I
the
love
rain.
you. Let's take a moment together, guys. Live. Let's live. Let's
Let's
live together.
Live and live and live.
This is for Rosca.
Rosca, how are your Rams doing?
This is a nice moment, actually, guys. It's a great moment together.
I feel like I'm on a adopted animal.
This is about as good as it's going to get. Because next week it's going to get much more fiery. So let's enjoy the kumbaya now.
I'm just telling you. No, that wasn't like that's relaxing. Like, just thinking about the possibility of us winning the next 2 games and then losing to Miami.
Oh, I planted the seed in your head. I got the seed
No,
planted.
like, now I'm bothered. Like, now that bothers me.
What if it goes opposite road? And it's
The
a
fact
total
that I
slide?
planted the seed and Dion said he could see it happen, and now it's there. Now you're thinking about what if that actually does happen?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the opposite side. I'm thinking total slide. Lose to the Patriots, lose to Seattle, then go and lose to Miami. I mean, you might as well sell the team at that point.
Get out.
But see, I don't know. I feel like
This
listen,
is Kevin's last show with A2D Radio.
that would obviously
Thank you, Kevin, for all your contributions, and wish you luck on your future endeavors.
that would obviously suck because then we would be okay. One of the games that we were projected to win obviously would be gone. But I would already be coming off of 2 big temper tantrums from the previous 2 weeks, so I'd already be in that mode. You know what I'm saying? If we go win-win, there's going to be Super Bowl talk. I'm just saying. Not from me, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But there's going to be a lot of Super Bowl talk. There will be.
Well, of course there will be, because the following game is a Super Bowl preview.
Jesus. I can't. Why do we let him back here?
On the plus side for you guys, I'll be gone next week. On the plus side, I'll be gone next week, guys. You have another week without me. I'm going to hang out with Gritty next week.
I mean, his fur might sop up your tears after the Patriots speeches.
No,
Lord.
big brace. We're gonna
Big
have
trash talking so far. I mean,
Who's that?
you better hope. No, him.
I know he's
A lot
talking a
of
lot of
trash.
shit over there.
Hey, I don't know if
Matt.
you guys saw it or not, but Brady's still pretty pissed
Talking a lot
off.
of shit for someone with a fucked up Achilles.
Talking a lot
For a
of
guy
crap.
who, for
Talking a lot of crap.
slipping the
Whose
wrist.
team was winless in November.
Even the Dolphins got to win in November.
A lot of talk from a guy that couldn't open a can of peaches over here.
Listen, I was trying to be.
They're very
neat.
difficult. Okay,
It was not the easiest.
you
They
gotta
don't make
open
it
them
easy.
so gently so that the juice doesn't.
They don't
squirt.
They don't make that
No one wants juice in your eye
a
from
great-
those.
squirt. Great word, by the way.
Yes.
They tried to make it so that children can't just be like, "Oh, I'm a savage. I'm going to pull this off." So they try to make it tougher to open, and that was it. You got to remember, I'm not used to eating healthy food, so I have to learn how to open these new contraptions.
How does this thing work?
Also, I think it's very telling that while we were talking trash around the football, atmosphere, Mr. Kevin, he deflects outside of football.
He does.
Interesting.
Hey, yeah.
Is that because he's aware that, like Chuck said, you guys are winless in November?
Yeah.
So you have to go to the Peaches?
I got
The
to.
peaches.
Just so we're all on
I
the
mean-
same understanding.
Dion says, "Yeah, Kev, get off the set. Hey, ASAP. LOL. 3 losses in a row. Now that I can't see. No way. LOL. No."
There you go, Dion.
Bill says, "This is for Kevin. You laughed when I said the Patriots were going to be 11-5 this year and no bye. Read off your schedule because now I'm thinking they only go 10-6.
Oh, God.
Read the schedule to Chucks and see what he predicts. Pull up the rest of the Patriots
Let's play a
schedule.
game. Let's play a
Brodo,
game.
pull it up.
Yes, sir.
got
Ryan
it
will
right
pull it
now.
up. You're good. No, keep it because if I lose comments, you're my backup.
I'm already off of it.
Well, get in it now.
Come on, Kevin!
You have one job,
I'm
Kevin, and
already
it's to be
off of
my
it.
backup when my phone
He's
takes a dump.
already off of it.
I can tell you the next games are Eagles, Cowboys,
Win.
Texans, Chiefs.
Win for the Eagles. So a loss against the Eagles. Win against the Cowboys. I think you'll win against the Chiefs.
Texans. I think you beat the Texans.
I think
And
you
we
beat
play
the
the Texans and the Chiefs, I believe, in New England.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
no.
right.
You play the Texans in Houston,
That'll be a tough game.
and you play
Oh,
the
it'll be
Chiefs
tough.
in New England.
I just don't have
So wait,
faith.
let's
I
go-
don't have
let's go
faith
through.
in
All
Bill
right,
keep
O'Brien.
track. Keep track.
So in
So what are they now? The record.
What, 7-1?
Winless in November.
That is true.
That's the record.
right now they have lost
Once.
once and have not won in the last 2 Dolphins wins.
Very interesting. It could be a sign. So after Patriots Eagles, you have them at what record?
I said they lose.
They
So
lose.
7-2. You have them at.
Of course he's going to
8-1.
win.
8-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a homer,
Okay,
of course.
so-
7-2, yeah.
Fam at home, if you want to play along, please. Cowboys at Patriots.
Oh, Patriots. win that game,
Patriots.
Especially on the road for the
Patriots.
Cowboys. Yeah.
Cowboys are frauds against good teams.
Okay. Keep track of your records, everybody. Patriots at Texans.
Patriots.
I could see the Texans pulling that game out.
I can. I don't have faith in Bill O'Brien. Bill
Nope.
O'Brien
They've not done well in the
Yeah.
past 3 seasons against
So
New England.
8
I'm gonna pick Patriots, but I could see them losing that game.
and 9. So I'd have him at
9 and 2.
9 and
9 and 2.
You have them at what, Kevin?
10-1. He's not gonna have them losing the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
gonna
do.
have own.
Chiefs at Patriots.
I have the Chiefs.
I
winning
have.
that.
Do you
Yeah,
in New
I do.
England?
I do.
You
I
can run
think
all
so.
over them. You can run all over the Chiefs.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
I-
also Mahomes all over the Patriots.
I don't know. Not
I
with-
think it's a surprise.
I don't know.
I
think
don't.
it's a
They
surprise.
haven't
They
played. I don't
I
think
could
they've played
be-
a team with corners like the Patriots have.
Oh no, I understand, but it's.
I have
Mahomes.
Kansas City in that.
It's
game. I mean,
Mahomes.
I have New
The
England.
the
in that game.
Patriots corners have also not played against the guy with the speed of Tyreek Hill.
That is very true.
So I mean, Tyreek Hill gets open against everyone. It doesn't even matter.
Patriots at Bengals. Oh, I wonder. I wonder about this one.
Tough matchup in Cincinnati.
Bills at Patriots.
9-3,
At New England,
10-3.
that's not going to be as close as the first
11.
game. That's a win.
So I'm at 11.
Yeah, it's a win.
And Dolphins at Patriots.
Chrome.
Chrome.
I mean, I already picked the Dolphins to win out, so
I haven't. So I would have them 13-3 because I have their losses against.
this is going to be the
The
game where Fitzmagic
Chiefs and
locks up
Pats.
the
Chiefs and
MVP for the
Eagles.
season.
I have them at 13-3.
I have them at 15-1.
So I was right after he told me no.
Yeah. You
I
did
said
say no,
so.
Kevin.
You have them not. I said so. You don't have them losing another game.
So that makes
and
you
you
up.
said no, it's not true. And then you had them not losing another game.
every
It literally happened 43 seconds ago.
I keep going back and forth on the Chiefs game. I'm not confident.
So you're a flip-flopper then.
Yes, on that game.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I'm admitting it.
All right. Well, at least
That
you're-
game
least you're
specifically,
self-aware.
I'm not
Admit it.
confident.
You lied.
You could see. Admit it. You're a liar.
Yeah.
Okay.
if that game is in
You sit on
Kansas
the
City,
phone.
I think we lose.
Listen, when Miami locks up 9-7 and beats the Patriots in New England behind Ryan Fitzmagic, that's when he locks up MVP of the league.
That might be the 5 seed. Forget about the 6 seed. That might be the 5
But
seed.
if he runs 9 games with them and he beats New England in New England, he might win the MVP.
I got to go to YouTube.
You might want to
Go
go
to
put the drugs
YouTube.
now.
I can't do this.
Go to YouTube.
Let's see. Cool pieces.
You
The
can thank
Rams.
Miami for giving me 2 wins to fuel all this.
The Rams need to beat the Cowboys, and that's all. Yeah, that's going to be big for us when we talk about the scheduling and everything. We need the Rams to beat that game.
Yeah, tell the Rams to not take a shit.
Yeah, please. Jared Goff needs to play like a NFL quarterback, like not like anything he has.
Any
been.
one.
Any of them.
Play like any.
Play like Josh Allen. At least
The
he's better than
Rams.
the whole team.
The Rams have to show they're not frauds. You mean?
Yeah, and Sean McVay. Oh, I guess he's not a genius anymore.
Listen,
huh?
man.
Yeah. What happened to the boy genius?
Listen, man, drop Mitchie Poo down there in L.A., and they're a Super Bowl contender, hands down.
I might be saying that freaking Cam
Dear
Newton.
freaking Lord.
Yeah, no, I can't do the Mitchie Poo. I can't do that. Anthony says, I think Carson is going to ball out against the Patriots. He definitely wants it bad because of the Super Bowl drama.
Lot to prove.
And this is the first time he's ever faced not only Tom Brady, but all of the Patriots.
Yeah, lot
He's
to
done it
prove.
before.
Lot to prove for him.
Harlem Cowboy says, we can all agree Dak is much improved and Wentz looked like he hit his ceiling in 2017.
Nope.
No.
Here's what I will say. Okay, Dak has improved this year.
Yeah,
Dak is entering top 10 status to me.
he's been
Like,
much better.
He's been very, very, very good. Very impressive. I mean, in years past, we would like if Zeke had the running performance that he had against the Vikings, that's a loss for the
That
Cowboys.
game wouldn't even been close.
But Dak had probably his best game of his career, and he's played very well all season. So he has definitely improved. Like all jokes aside, he's a very good quarterback. But no way Wentz has hit his ceiling. Wentz has improved since 2017. The difference is he himself doesn't have the numbers because the playmakers for him at wide receiver aren't making plays. The numbers can be misleading. He's a better quarterback now than he was in 2017. That's I honestly 100% like, and he is not even
give credit where it's due.
finished. He hasn't. Neither him or Dak has finished progressing yet. They are still getting better and better. So no, I don't believe he's hit his ceiling.
Couple comments over here. First of all, Bill says that's a tough schedule. I think that they only beat Cincinnati. He thinks that the Dolphins, Cowboys, Eagles, Texans, Bills, and Chiefs all definitely will beat them, or can all definitely beat them.
Yeah, there's not a shot, Bill. The Cowboys, the only thing they're winning is a dance-off, maybe. That's not a shot. You have the Chiefs, I could see as a loss, but that's in New England. Texans haven't had anything for them in the past 3 years. The Bills couldn't beat us in Buffalo, let alone coming to New England. Probably top 2 or 3 places to play in outside of Seattle or the Superdome with the Saints. So I don't see them losing at home at all.
Bill adds on to it, too. He says, wouldn't that be a shame if the Patriots actually, for once, didn't have the first-round bye and had to play on the road?
You'd hate to see it.
You'd hate to see it.
Be a real shame.
Dion asks us, guys, quick question. What jerseys should I wear on Sunday? Randall, Seth Joyner, Dawkins, all home jerseys, or D-Jack's home. Don't wear the D-Jacks.
Don't wear D-Jacks. Dawkins.
I would always, I go Brian Dawkins probably.
Dawkins.
Never go wrong with Dawk. We gotta get that good mojo from Dawk. That
But this is
defensive
where I
mojo.
worry. Dawkins played in the Super Bowl. I know this is not the Super Bowl game, but he played in that game in which we lost.
But the juju was removed because he was with the team as on the staff for the Super Bowl. So that juju was removed.
Yeah, I'll go Dawkins then. Yeah, don't wear D-Jacks. No.
Yeah.
No,
I don't do that.
it's a bad omen.
Yeah,
Bad-
don't
bad.
do that.
Bad juju. Bad juju.
I have a thing where this is just me. If a player is hurt
Mm-hmm.
and he's a current player on the roster, I don't
don't
wear
wear them,
his
right?
jersey when he's not playing in a game.
You gotta hide
Absolutely.
that. You gotta hide it.
I don't
You don't even
hide
have it
it.
out.
But I don't hide it. It sits in the closet, but I won't wear it if
Yeah.
he's hurt.
I can understand that.
Yeah, no, I won't touch that.
It's just weird. It's just a weird feeling.
giving off bad vibes. You know
While we're on the subject of jerseys, real quick.
When I need, and I actually may take it on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
When I need I feel a big game and we need a big defensive showing, I wear the Reggie. I don't wear it every game because I feel like it's not special. But like a week like this week, I'll probably take that and replace it for the week on Thursday, and I'll wear the Reggie.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of jerseys, real quick, do you guys I talked about this with my other friends like a couple weeks ago. You know that whole notion that people have. There's this whole like section of people and fans that believe it's not right for adults to wear jerseys.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You never heard of that?
No.
Like they think that it's childish to wear jerseys, and adults shouldn't be wearing jerseys because it should be a women thing and a child thing. You guys have never heard that before?
I've never heard that.
No.
If you
glad
listen
I
to,
haven't
I can
whatsoever.
give you one reference if you don't believe me. Like the
No,
guys
we
from
believe you.
the guys on Around the NFL podcast, which I don't listen to anymore. I used to, but they all believe it. There are people I know. My friend has it's like an more so old school mentality. But ever since I heard that, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why? What the heck is wrong with wearing jerseys?
This is my response to that. I'll wear whatever I want to spend my money on, and you worry about what you're going to spend your money on.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of stupid shit that your dumbasses wear that
Yeah.
I would sit here and judge you and say that you look
Yeah.
like a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
So if I want to wear a football jersey, that's fine. And
Yeah.
they're probably douchebags who wear deep V's and all that shit. Whatever you want to wear, I don't judge you. None of your business what I'm going to wear.
Yeah. The way I see it, it's just like it's something you're passionate about, and it's just like, I don't know, you just wear it to show your passion for something.
The
Like,
fact
I
that-
don't
The fact that
understand.
you got to worry about what other people or fans are wearing to show their loyalty to a team tells me you got nothing better going on in your life. You got nothing going for you. So shut your fucking mouth.
See, go ahead, Kev.
To me, the only stipulation I see is that as a team that you don't follow or know nothing about. Like, I get it, the culture with the Raiders, the 90s, 80s hip hop and rap scene, you're wearing the black and silver or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that wearing, because I've ran into people that have the hat or the jersey on. I'm like, oh, that's your favorite team. Who do you like? What do you think about the season? I'm like, oh,
No,
I just wear, I just wear it for the colors. So like, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not telling them not to go wear it because that's for children.
You just find it weird.
Right.
My thing is with jerseys. I don't have a problem with someone wearing a player that they like's jersey on another team.
Yeah.
Can't be in within the division.
Yeah.
And you can't wear it on a game day. That's my rule. But like, if there's a player you like I'm a huge baseball fan. One of the things I do is when I go to other stadiums, I get like a T-shirt and bobblehead of like a player that plays in the game that I'm there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I even went to a Mets game. I never wore the shirt, but I still just for my collection bought a David Wright shirt and a Johan Santana bobblehead because they played in the game I went there. It marks for me. That's how I kind of mark those things. So I don't. They don't have, like, tickets and stuff anymore that you can really get. But I don't judge people for doing that. Like, I have a Verlander baseball jersey because I love Justin Verlander. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, you cannot wear it.
Yeah,
like
when you're... Yeah, yeah.
When you were a Kareem Hunt guy.
Yeah. There was that whole conversation.
We had this conversation back in our first year on A2D. It was, is it acceptable to do so? If it's a bye week and you want to wear it, sure.
Yeah.
I have a Dan Marino jersey. Should I not wear my Dan Marino jersey? I don't wear it on game days.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wear it on a bye week if the Eagles aren't playing. But I'm going to wear that jersey.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck if anybody has a problem with it or not. It kiss my ass.
Yeah.
That's just how I am.
I mean, that's one of the things for me is me and my stepdad collect jerseys. I've got the Moss 75th anniversary Vikings jersey. It's probably one of my favorites. And then I have a Jets throwback Favre jersey, the navy blue and gold. So, do I wear it? No. It sits in my closet. It's a collector's piece. But, am I going to fault other people that wear stuff like that out? No. That's what they want to wear. Like you said earlier, it's you're not going to judge for people for spending their money on what they want. It's kind of a moot point at that.
No, I mean, even beyond jersey. If I want to wear a wrestling shirt to the bar, I'm going to do that. I do that. I don't give a fuck if anybody has a problem with it.
Yeah.
So, am I going to listen to some jackasses on a podcast who think that they're cool and think they have any influence on anybody? No. Dumbasses.
Yeah.
That's why I told Dion before, dude, whatever you want to wear, wear. The only violation I told you was
your own name, right?
No, I don't even mind your own name. The teacher, remember I told you about the teacher in Highland?
Oh, yeah.
Who bought her son a customized Eagles Brett Favre jersey. That is a violation.
Yeah, you can't.
A player never played for a football team. You can't make a jersey for him.
And there was a I think I told you.
You can't wear a Mike Trout Phillies jersey, guys. It's just not acceptable.
I think I said on here before, you don't know about this, but before the 2015 draft, 2015, there wasn't that hype about Marcus Mariota. Chip Kelly's going to go get him. I literally saw an Eagles fan with a custom Eagles Marcus Mariota jersey. I was like, really?
That's a disgrace.
That's really bad.
Last comments, and then we'll go to break.
Bill's comment was good.
Dion says, beat Doc it is. Thanks, guys. Bill, Chuck's is 100% in my city. Girls will actually tell you that guys in bars wearing jerseys is not attractive. Women wear them. Well, your city sucks, man. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, bro. Bill also says, guys then talk to the chicks that are wearing their team's jerseys. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I guess if I lived there, then I would have to change that trend real quick.
Yeah.
Dion says, I'm born and raised in the 215. I'm going to wear my team's jersey on a random day. If I feel like it, no matter the season. Whomever disagrees with that is a loser. Agreed. And needs to pay more attention to themselves and take a long look at themselves in the mirror multiple times. You're right. But they probably don't want to look at themselves in the mirror because they're probably ugly as fuck. We're going to take our break, guys. Appreciate you joining us on Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. Jump over to the YouTube. Jump over to Facebook. Lots more to talk about. We'll continue to talk Eagles second half. We'll talk about how stupid asses who want to judge people for what they wear are, and much, much more. We'll continue to cover Week 10 of the NFL season. And anything you guys want to talk about. Tough Sixers game right now. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side.
don't shoot threes, please. Just
your
stay away
fir-
from threes. Just stay away from threes.
Chucks, shut up for a minute. Welcome back to Birds of a Feather, live on a2dradio.com. From the Real Talk Studios, Chrome, Chucks, Kevin, Mr. Ryan Broad on the ones and twos. Brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal in Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, New Jersey. You can also find him on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment necessary. Go see our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal. Our topic of conversation, the Eagles will win against either the Patriots or the Seahawks. Agree, disagree. That's brought to you by ATS Sports Picks for all our sports betting junkies out there. Listen, visit ATSSportsPicks.com. Use the promo code A2D. You get 20% off all first-time purchase packages. So go check them out. We want to see you guys win money. We love to see success with the fam. So you're going to get live reaction. Tight Sixers game down, about a minute and 30, 40-something seconds left. That's what you heard Chuck's talking about when I had to tell him to shut his freaking mouth. I love you, buddy. That was that. We're going to be getting instant reactions here. So looks like Tobias is finally hitting a couple shots down the stretch. Ryan?
2, as a matter of fact.
2.
Jeff Lohmeyer says, seriously, Tobias, you're 2 of 15 tonight. I think that was before he made that simple 2-point play, so I think now he's 3 of 16.
JoJo, 25 points, 16 boards, 4 assists.
Well, I'm glad somebody's playing tonight.
8 of 16 shooting.
Oh,
from
there
the
we
field.
go.
Yeah, 2 for 12.
2 for 12.
So he is, what did that say? But he's, 4 for 19 from the field altogether?
I think so.
Oof.
I'll pull up the exact stats in a
I
moment.
think it's at 4, or maybe it's 4 for 17, I think. All right. So I think we're gonna be focusing on this right now. Because
Yeah.
there's about a minute and a half left, and a game that should
Come
not
on,
be this
come on,
close.
Ben.
Kevin Love.
Good
There
defense.
we go.
Good
There you
rebound,
go.
rebound. There you go, Joe.
Hey!
There you go, Joe. You actually moved.
I'm a little
Go.
surprised they didn't call a push off on Joe
Three ball.
from the back.
Boom.
What?
Oh, that was
God.
a terrible shot.
Yeah, I should know.
Little surprised they didn't call the push off on Joe on the over the back.
Surprised. I'm very surprised.
And I believe the Sixers are in the penalty with a minute left, 97-96.
Shooting 21%.
21% from
They are.
It's not going to get it done.
Listen, that's where you miss JJ. I mean, there's
That's where you miss Jimmy,
Yeah, Jimmy too. Well, you miss
especially
Jimmy down to close
especially this time of the game.
Oh, dear Lord.
Wide
Oh
open.
my God.
What
out.
happened?
Push off.
Yeah, that's an offensive.
Yep,
foul.
that's an offensive foul. Good.
So, as we speak, like we said, Joel Embiid is 9 for 18 from the field, 3 for 5 3-pointers, 25 points. He's leading the team in scoring. Simmons, 7 for 9 field goals. That's big. That's big. Obviously, no threes for 15 points with 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Richardson, he's 7 for 17 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3.
Jeez.
17 points overall. Korkmaz, who's getting the start tonight in replacement of Al Horford. He has 10
Come
points
on.
tonight. Come on, Joel. Come on, Joel.
Gotta go up stronger than that.
That's a jump ball. That's a jump ball.
All right, I'll take that.
All right.
Ben and Kevin Love, I'll take that jump.
As far as the bench, Mike Scott is leading the points off of the bench with 9. He's 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. Thibault with 3 points, Ennis 7, O'Quinn with 0, and Neto with 2.
No, I can do without seeing him for a while.
Yeah, he's just a bigger TJ who can actually score a little bit.
So that's good.
Yeah, no, I mean TJ sucks, but this guy is.
So it's like,
What's he doing in Indiana this year?
He's the same guy, same exact guy. I watched the other day. He dribble. What's the TJ move? He dribbles under the basket.
dribble.
That's all he does.
yeah. It's like what Kevin
We got a
Nash used to do,
timeout?
but Kevin Nash was good. Kevin Nash. Sorry, Steve Nash. I said Kevin Nash.
Big sexy Kevin Nash, baby.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Jackknife underneath the basket.
Wow, 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 wow.
Michael Cole on the road.
Oh my! It's Mr. Cool Diesel.
Oh, I miss those days of wrestling.
Clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve Nash. Steve Nash used to do
Yes.
that. But he was good because he would actually make something happen.
Yes, unlike T.J. McConnell.
Well, I mean, in
Nash
fairness,
was
Steve
good.
Nash is like a Hall of Fame
Yeah,
player.
that's
Yeah.
a point.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash.
The sizes aren't even close.
Nothing.
They're just
not
both
Not-
white.
not even.
That's it. They're both white guys.
Not
That's
even.
it. It's about as close. One's got really long hair and a beard.
One,
The other one just doesn't.
Just,
One
yeah.
just
doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any of that.
Uh,
One is called Big Sexy.
One just isn't.
One just is not big or sexy.
One's like kind of awkward.
But he could play hockey. Well, they both play basketball, though.
Yes.
Kevin Nash played
Well,
college ball.
Oh, did he really?
I'd certainly hope somebody at his size did. Like, listen, so he'll find the hoop sometimes. Just
but he
stand
didn't. He
there.
didn't go running under the hoop like
No.
like Steve Nash did he?
Well, he can't run, so.
Yeah. At this point, he's tore his quad so many times.
Listen,
Kevin Nash has had so many quad tears. I mean, he can barely walk at
the
this point.
scream. We all know what we're talking about. The scream he let out when he when he screwed up his knee.
Yeah.
And he just hit the ring.
David Roska chimes in. Trish Stratus has an awesome ass.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave.
All right, David. Great.
Breaking
That's good
news.
stuff.
Breaking news.
Yeah, where's the breaking news?
Breaking news, guys.
Do, 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 do.
Hold on.
Do, 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 do.
Where the hell is it? Incoming. David has to tell us something.
Do, do. Good stuff. I love you, David.
Oh God.
What is Jeff saying?
Jeff Lomayer says, I'd be cool with OT for fantasy purposes at this
Listen,
point.
we're 21 seconds to go. I'll take it.
You know, I'm not doing well in my fantasy basketball league, but it's also because I had connection issues and couldn't draft half of my team.
Oh, take it, Josh.
Ooh, nice.
No.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay, now we got to defend.
All right.
I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah.
Okay, Joel, let's not celebrate. Okay,
He
We'll still have-
didn't. He just gave him a point.
I didn't like that though.
He's
And he's
giving
gonna
props
let-
to his goddamn teammate.
I'm joking.
For a second there, I was like, "Wait, really?"
You know what, Ryan? Next time you say something poignant on here, I'm not giving you any props
Okay.
because I don't like it.
Well, listen, I'll be back. I have to go slip in the rain.
Oh my God.
You okay? You need a foot massage? A heel?
I might.
I can't take.
If
it.
anyone's just joining us and you don't know what we're talking about, Kevin slipped in the rain.
Yes.
That
When
was-
was this?
Injured his Achilles.
it's like 3 weeks ago,
This was
right?
like
Oh
a
my
month
God.
ago or 2 months ago.
No, like 2 weeks.
and you're still bitching about
2
it?
weeks ago.
Wait, was
It
this
hurt.
here?
No. I was coming. It was when you were out sick.
But was it here?
When was that? Oh, that was like 3. That was
2
like
weeks
a month ago.
No, it was 2 weeks.
No.
No, 3.
Maybe
Three.
3.
Did I miss 2 shows in a row? No, I came back for one and then
yeah, then you
yeah.
were out.
3. It would
So
be
3
then.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. I came in out of the rain, stepped on hardwood
I might be
floor,
the new Noah.
went to go.
No,
Step-
Noah's going to be here tomorrow, so no.
Yeah, but I'm like in and out every other
Yeah.
week. I'm not going to be here next week.
Yeah, you might be the new.
I will be here for Lazy Booking.
Yeah.
As far as Birds of a Feather goes, I'm like the new Noah.
You're like the new off-season Noah. Like Eagles season, he's here. I can't get rid of him. But when
Can't
he's
get
when
rid
they're not
but
playing,
we're an
you can't
Eagles
find
show in season
No, it
and I'm
makes
not
sense.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. So you're the new Noah.
Listen, I have
Hey, you're breaking chairs. Listen, you are Noah.
I am breaking chairs, taking things off the rails. That's what I do. It's kind of sounds like my life actually. A lot of bad things. All right, here we go.
So how confident are we? From 1 to 10,
5. Is that okay?
I'm a solid
6.5.
5.2.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
around the same area.
Yeah.
I'm about a 6.5 on
This
this.
is like this screams a Colin Sexton 3.
I could see.
This screams anything.
you need no fouls. Oh,
Oh, dear
Kevin
Lord.
Love! Oh!
good.
Oh, get it!
Game over. It's over.
Game.
Oh,
It's over.
Oh,
It's
no.
over.
I don't know. I can see them screwing us. I feel like they called timeout.
No.
cup half full. The
I
5, the 1 of 5 was a cup half full 5.
He's a little banged up.
Bro, if they call timeout, it was like 0.1 second left. There ain't no.
Until I see Serena pop on the screen, I'm still waiting.
All right, Serena.
Yeah, your face is stupid, Kevin.
Ouch.
I was talking about you, not him. He's
You
handsome.
stupid idiot, Kevin.
Stupid idiot. It's good because it works in
Yeah.
so many
Yes.
different ways right now.
All right, they're waving the flags. I think we got this now.
Okay.
I think we're
we're
okay.
good.
Clap your hands, everybody.
I love how all of us just panicked.
Fin-
We're
Yeah,
like,
they're like, oh, there it is.
because I forgot all about him
76ers.
because he's been hurt so
Stomp
much.
your
Yeah.
feet, everybody.
I wonder how his Achilles is.
Philadelphia.
Well, we'll find out.
Yo, I thought for a second that was
1,
Kyle
2,
Korver.
3, 4, 5, 6ers.
Kyle
You did the white guy. I don't know who the white guy is. That's
78,
Kevin Love.
76ers.
No, the other one. The one with the sleeve.
Shetty Osman.
1, 2,
There you
3,
go.
4, 5, 6ers.
He had like this similar
What is happening
hairstyle.
there?
All right, Serena's on screen. We got
We're
it.
good.
76ers.
Serena. There's a Serena.
We did it.
The Serena lady has spoken.
We did it, guys. We did it.
All right, we can be happy now.
I've never been so happy to beat the Cavaliers by 1 point without LeBron James. Like, this isn't even the LeBron James cap.
Not LeBron,
Is
not
it?
Kyrie, none of
It
them.
absolutely
This is the
isn't.
Chetty Osman Cavaliers.
Sounds like a good team.
Well, they almost beat us, so
Hey, win's a win. Is a win. Is a win. Is a win.
we all got so scared when Kevin Love.
Yeah, I
popped on
know.
the
We were
screen.
like, oh my gosh, there it is.
Oh, wide open shot, too. He had the pump cake.
Everyone's like,
Pump
no, not him.
If he would've just
Anybody but
taken-
him.
cake. That was huge, though. That rebound came off as aggressively off the rim as it
Yeah.
did.
See Joel, by the way, just fly to the floor.
At that point, it's like playing.
He's like,
He came up a little
it's
banged
just a
up
big
after.
body. Just like, "Blah!"
Honestly, like at that point, it kind of became like a keep away. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
grab the ball,
Yeah,
just tap it
just
away
tap
so
it,
they
yeah.
can't
Yes.
basically harness
Smack
it in
it.
and get it. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really need it, but they can't have it either.
No.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, sorry, Jeff, you didn't get overtime.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Win's a win.
But you can have overtime with us. All right.
So what do we do now?
I don't even know. Like I'd be lying to you if I said I looked at the criteria this week.
I do have a question, and I don't
It's
know. If
nothing new.
I was on an airplane when you guys were on last week, so I may have missed this, and it was fresh in the news. Did you guys discuss the whole conversation and now revealing that what Doug Peterson said was that when Jason Peters is healthy, he's just going to
We
instantly
didn't
win the
cover
job?
that.
Does that drive anybody else
It
crazy?
pisses me off.
Because I want to throw
It
something.
doesn't piss me off. It doesn't piss me off.
Why?
So here's my reasoning.
Mhm.
Like, no, because I can understand why people would get upset. Because like,
because he's old and stinks.
because he's aging and Dillard is the new guy. So
Stinks.
I definitely understand that. I'm not
With a
adamantly
capital.
I'm not adamantly against if Dillard were to get the job. I'm more of like, okay, like to me,
Stinks.
Dillard, I think for one, his performance has been a little bit overblown. Yeah, he's been impressive and better than what we expected for a rookie left tackle, but he still has had issues with sustaining his anchor against power rushers repeatedly. And what I mean by that is when he's getting bull rushed, his technique that he uses from college, he doesn't get his hands up a lot, nearly enough. So it opens his chest up for a lot of power rush, and you see it. If you re-watch his last two starts, he's constantly getting pushed back in the pocket a lot. So there are a lot of rushers, and plus last week we were facing against Khalil Mack. We put a lot of help in his side, for a lot of those reps. That's why Khalil Mack didn't have as big of a game impact as possible. So I mean, has he been very impressive? Yeah, and I'm on the train of 100% believe this guy will be the real deal. I think he has potential to be an all-pro kind of left tackle. Like I believe in the kid. Don't want to sell him short. I'm just being realistic. Like he hasn't been a phenomenal, and I've heard people say he's been phenomenal. I don't think that. I think that he still has shown flaws. I still have my reservations about putting him out on an island one-on-one with a good pass rusher the whole game. However, Jason Peters, when he's on the field and healthy, I don't have as much reservation about that. Because when he is playing and when he is on the field, still this year, he still is better than Andre Dillard. You cannot convince me otherwise. He's better than Andre Dillard still. However, this is the big iffy. The big thing is, the big question mark is obviously, can Jason Peters stay healthy throughout the game? And that's an completely understandable question mark.
Let's hope it doesn't rain.
So what I personally would do is I have no problem during the week, because Jason Peters doesn't need it, if he splits reps with Andre Dillard, so that during the game, if Peters has to leave, Dillard's not getting in the game cold feet with no first team reps during the week. You split the reps so that he gets some time, he gets some reps in there during practice, and then you're not leaving him as exposed. You can't, to me, I really honestly believe that Peters has been getting, just because he leaves the field early doesn't mean he sucks. He doesn't suck. When he's been on the field, he's been good still. He hasn't been all pro, Jason Peters, but he's been good. And Andre Dillard, because he's a rookie and we want him to be so good, he's been a little bit overhyped. And there's nothing you can say to make me not believe that, because I've watched every single one of his snaps. I know what his weaknesses are still at this point.
I didn't say that he sucks. I said that he stinks.
Okay, cool. Wonderful.
I think
Synonyms. We're playing the synonym game.
I think it's familiarity and confidence outside of being a rookie. It's extremely hard in season for a rookie to win a starting position. You have to be absolutely phenomenal to win it, and especially in the position where you're at now, where you still have a great chance, going 1-1 in the next stretch to win the division, make the playoffs. Are you 100% confident in a rookie in a position to keep your,
exactly.
to keep the lineup?
That's my other point. Yes.
And can he right now, and what he's shown you while Peters has been out, he's been, like you said, good, not great. And if you're moving off of a guy that can be great when 100% healthy, and show you that you can actually trust him to control the line and make the right plays, you're not going to make that switch unless you are 100% sure that that's the route to go. And then you have the flip side of things. Okay, I move off of a vet that I put my faith in this far into the season to give up his spot to a rookie. What kind of confidence does that show in the rest of the team? If you're Doug Peterson trying to run an offense, none of your vets in any other position are going to be safe.
You can also go back to Dillard if it doesn't work out with Peters.
Right.
If you go to Dillard, you can't go back to Peters. And the other thing is, I have more concern about, when it comes to Peters, the concern isn't about performance, it's about health, and which is understandable. When it comes to Dillard, the concern is, when is he going to make the rookie mistake? Because he is still a rookie at a position that takes a while to still learn. And with as much as raw he's been, coming out of college, like there's still learning curves that he has to go over. I do not have, again, he got a lot of help on his side against the Bears. He did. That's not even opinion, that's fact. He got a lot of help.
That is so common.
Wait, hold on, Ryan. Let me just finish and then you can go. But with Peters, I have confidence leaving Peters on most of the game by himself, where I don't have to chip. I don't have to go over there. I can leave him 80% of the snaps, just let him handle that side, and for the most part, he'll be fine. And he won't make that rookie mistake. And when you're protecting the blind side of your quarterback, that's very important. And I want whoever is the better talent on the field protecting Wentz's blind side. And right now, Peters is, without a doubt, the better talent right now. That's why I have no problem with Peters getting his starting job.
I mean, I get what you're saying with the I would agree with the one thing for sure. It is harder to go back to Peters once you go to Dillard than vice versa. I agree with that. It makes a lot of sense. I think when you have a Lane Johnson on the other end, though, and the offensive line that we have, if you have to help out the rookie a little bit, I think you have that luxury to be able to do that, chip and do whatever you're talking about, as opposed to if you're not confident with, your other tackle on the other side and the rest of your offensive line. Now, I'm going to defer to Ryan just because, and I told you guys this, I was in Disney and really did not get to watch the Bears game. So I can't speak to that performance. So I'm going to defer to Ryan on the other end of this conversation because you've seen more of the time that Dillard has been in without Peters around. So I'm not going to act like I've seen every play.
Chucks, I'm not saying that what you and Kevin are saying is completely asinine. I'm not trying to make that
Yes,
point.
you are.
I'm not. Trust me, if I was, I would say
I'm
that.
kidding. I'm busting your balls.
My issue with this whole narrative, it's a couple levels. Number one, is it not common, no matter if it's a rookie left tackle or a veteran, when you're going up against somebody like Khalil Mack, is it not common to double him up as it is with anybody? That's just very common.
Not at the rate. When you have. I'm telling you, when you have a bona fide player like a Jason Peters, the help and support is not as common as it would be when you have a rookie. It really isn't. And to your point, like about having Lane on the other side and you can afford to chip. Well, here's the other issue: your receiving game isn't that great. If you're chipping with your running back, that leaves one less receiver out to go out into the passing game because they have to chip. If you have to chip with a tight end on that side, then you have one less tight end going out for a route. Like your passing game strength is in your running backs and tight ends right now. Asking them to chip and help out more is going to just hinder the passing game if you have to repeatedly do so. So it hasn't been as much of a hindrance yet. But going forward, once you start to play against a little tougher teams with even better pass rushers, and they get more tape on Dillard, it can be. So it absolutely can be.
Maybe it's just me, but I'm gonna go with the young guy who's continuing to progress. And if you have to send a little help, all day over a guy that hasn't stayed on the field since the middle of 2017.
Well, and here's the other thing too.
I know what you're saying, like you know, Jason Peters and the level of talent that he can. But he's never on the football field. He's always hurt. Always hurt. And I just can't, at this point, I would rather have the reliable body that I can have on the field than be in a position where he's now starting and you're taking away that opportunity for Dillard to progress between now and the end of the year for a playoff
But he's still
stretch.
progressing.
And I can't accept the whole narrative of we have to assume that things are going to get harder when we continue to play harder and more difficult and better pass rushers. We just play Buffalo and Chicago.
No,
are they? I mean, those defenses are pretty damn good. Are they not?
But what I'm saying is the more he plays, the more chances of him getting exposed.
Why are we assuming he's going to get exposed? He's a first-round talent that we trade up to get.
Because when you're a rookie, you're still a rookie. You make mistakes.
And
when you're a young player, are you assuming that he already knows mentally he's already caught up as much as a seasoned vet?
No, but
that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
The seasoned
vet
Jason Peters makes mistakes on the daily.
But
he's due for 3 holding calls on the daily.
He makes mistakes.
Exactly who
he makes mistakes, but he's also shown up more so that he makes those mistakes.
He's shown up on the penalty sheet.
But why are other teams who have first-round talents willing to put the first-round talent out as starting players?
Why are we afraid to
allow them to make mistakes?
Because they have to. Because they don't have a Peters. That's the whole thing.
We haven't had a Peters for 2 years.
We didn't have him when we had the Super Bowl, did we? We had a guy named Vitae.
And what was the narrative around Vitae? He was the weak spot. It was ever since Vitae came in. He was the big question. He was the big question for a lot of that playoff run was which Vitae will show up. How can you help and support Vitae?
And we know which one showed up. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he also had a lot of help. We had to put a lot of help on his side so repeatedly so many times. So you can't deny that. That's having to consistently, and I'm not saying Big V is Dillard. Right now, I'm not saying Dillard is already a lot better than Big V ever was. My point is that when you're a young offensive tackle, you are still going to make mistakes. And to your question, teams that have to force to play their offensive tackle don't have a player, a vet, a seasoned guy who is still playing at a good level as Peters. That's my point.
I don't necessarily agree with that whatsoever.
No. I mean,
I am so sick of every team in this city that we have to handle everybody with gentle gloves and gentle handling.
It's not about
You're
gentle
a first-round
gloves.
fucking pick.
It's about doing the better player on the team.
I'm looking at the second half of the schedule.
On the team.
I'm also looking at the second half of the schedule where it is a little bit easier for us to where I don't feel like I have to worry as much, and he can go out against teams with lesser-ranked defenses and be able to learn more as opposed to we're throwing him up in the first half of the schedule would have been a lot tougher. And he could make a lot of mistakes and get in his head.
But
I feel like the kid has progressed week by week and gotten better and better,
Absolutely.
as opposed to a guy who we cannot rely to get on the football field.
Absolutely.
And for me, I would go with the kid who has the potential and has started to show that potential, and let him try to build his confidence and momentum. I think you do have that luxury with the way that the rest of the team is orchestrated to put him out there. I have seen, if I never see, and I love Jason Peters, if I never see him play another snap in this city again, I would be fine. I didn't want him to come back this year. And he's just come back and proven again that he can't stay healthy, and it's created an irregularity on the offensive line that we've assumed by week 3 he was going to be done for the year.
That's why I said in my opening statement was that
I get what you're saying, Chucks.
Have them split reps during practice because of that uncertainty.
I don't see them doing that.
No, there's no shot.
So to me, if they did that, I might change my mind. But I have full confidence that this team will not do that. If Jason Peters is going to be the number one guy, Jason Peters is going to get all the first team reps. So to me, it's a detriment to Andre Dillard, and I feel like once Jason Peters gets hurt, I feel like when Peters
Dillard
gets hurt again in 2 weeks,
Dillard still develops even with Peters there. Like
how does
Peters
he develop?
still,
He's getting no in-game action. When's
Peters,
the best way to fix your mistakes? In-game action.
Rookies that don't play the rookie year don't develop? Or is that what you're saying?
Hey, Chrome, did I ever say that? Did I just say that?
But that's what you're ensuing.
That's not. You're not hearing me then.
I am hearing you loud and clear. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
That's not what I said.
Turn the volume up, Mr. Producer. So what you're saying is that if you're
I'm sorry.
Real mature.
I'm so sorry.
Real mature.
Oh, no, I slipped.
Yeah, real mature. Real mature.
I'm so
real
sorry.
mature.
I'm so sorry.
Real mature.
So
real
here's
mature.
the issue. To Chuck's point, because the Patriots are actually in the very, very similar situation. Isaiah Wynn has been out for the whole first half of the year. Is not expected back against until Dallas. You have one or two things that happens. If something goes wrong on either one side of the ball, you have to do one or two things. You either have to game plan to not go to that side of the field altogether and flow everything to the opposite side to allow yourself more time because you are expecting blocks to not be picked up, or you chip on that side to give yourself an extra blocker, then you give yourself less offensive options on that side. When you have to do that mid-game, if a rookie breaks down versus putting a veteran in there that as long as he's healthy, that can't happen or hasn't happened yet to this point, and you can at least be confident that you can game plan to have a solid piece in there, you're going to go with the solid piece versus you're having a guy in there that you don't know 100% what you have to this point because he doesn't have enough film to show that he's proven.
And let me make this clear. I as I said in the beginning, I understand the Dillard argument. And would I be mad if they went with Dillard? No, I wouldn't be mad because I get it. And it's a tough situation. It's a tricky spot in my opinion. And I think that there are a lot of downsides and positives for either scenario. Even if you go with Peters or if you go with Dillard, I think there are pluses and minuses for both sides. I'm not completely against starting Dillard. If that was the route they decide to go after this week, if they're like, okay, actually we're going to start Dillard, then I'm fine with it. I'm just saying, like, to me, I think that I would rather go with the better talent, even though he's more of an injury risk. Go with the better talent because it's the left tackle. You're protecting Wentz's blind side, and I want the better player out there that I can rely on an island for most of the game. Dillard can get there. He absolutely Dillard absolutely will. I 100% believe that. But as of this moment, I can't say that he's a better player right now than Peters. That's my point.
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to respond.
No.
I mean, I agree with you, Chucks. I think that he definitely will get there, especially having a veteran talent like Peters to coach him along. Obviously when healthy to show him in game. But I think it is, again, to your point, it's something that's going to take time, especially being a lesser mobile quarterback coming off of injuries. You don't necessarily want him to have to scramble around. You want that side shored up 100%. Mm-hmm. It's something that you stick to your guns and you stick to the vet with. I think 9 times out of 10, barring any signs of an injury.
Yeah. I think Brodo's mad at me.
I'm not mad at all. Listen, man, this is sports. I just think it's incredibly sad that every time we have this in this city, no matter if it's the Sixers, it's the Phillies, it's the Flyers, and it's the Eagles, this same city, the same people get in the same trap of, oh, no, he's a Hall of Famer. He's perfect. You can't get rid of him. We can't move on. We have to bring him back for $10 million that we could have used for any guy, anybody, maybe a wide receiver that could catch a ball, maybe a cornerback that could cover anybody. But no, Jason Peters, he was good. He was really good, but we're going to ignore the holding calls that he gets constantly called on. But he's perfect. That drives me off a freaking wall. And that the day after, I don't give a damn if he had help. This is what when you're going up against a guy like Khalil Mack, if you're not making desperate measures, if you want to call it desperate, if you want to say it's cautious, if you're not going to go extra above to make sure that Wentz's blind side is protected, so if that means helping out the rookie or not, when you're going up against somebody like Khalil Mack and the guy in that position is keeping the quarterback clean, the next day, not even 24 hours later, you hear your head coach say, oh, when the old guy comes back, he's gonna take over for the young guy who we traded up to get, who's one of 2 draft picks in the last handful of years that actually plays. You're going to go to the bench because you've clearly not done good enough.
You can't convince me either that if Jason Peters played, they wouldn't be chipping to help Jason Peters out on the end.
Thank you.
Not at the rate that you are for Dillard.
Regardless,
not at that
still
rate.
doing it.
I mean, I'm not saying they wouldn't help
semantics.
Peters at all, but it's okay. So if you're helping out on 50% of the snaps with Dillard as opposed to 20% of the snaps with Peters, you're saying that doesn't make a difference?
I think it would be more than 20%.
No, I
Cut
disagree with
yourself
that.
off
Like,
offensively.
you cut
Like I said,
to his point.
You only want one or the other. If you have to, a guy like Khalil Mack, you're game planning against. You're throwing almost everything and
You're
running
absolutely
everything
gonna play
on the
game
other
against,
side of the
yeah.
field. So if I'm doing that, I'm not also going to put a secondary piece to help Dillard out, taking somebody off of the other side of the field. I don't want to do both. With Peters, you don't necessarily
Jason
have
Peters'
to.
leg would have probably fell off if he was playing against Khalil Mack.
And it's not. For one, let me make this clear. I'm not saying Peters is perfect. I know
No, I'm not
you're
targeting
talking
you.
about it in general, but to address those people, that's absolutely asinine because Peters is nowhere near the level he was before. I want to make that clear. Peters is not great, but he's good. And right now he's still better. He's a better left tackle than Dillard. I will die on that hill for the rest of this show. He's still a better left tackle than Andre Dillard. Let's get that straight. But the dynamic is different. You can't just say it's you saying that you're going to tell the kid who's been playing well the past 2 games that you're going to ride the bench now. He's a rookie that knows his place. He knows, regardless if we trade off from or not, he knows that he's still learning and grooming behind a future Hall of Fame left tackle. He was brought in to be the future, but he still has to progress and get through his development. His time will come, and it could, in fact, be coming. Because who knows? Maybe Peters this game, again, it's very, very possible. Peters in the Patriots game, second half or something, he leaves with a serious injury, and then it's Dillard's time. And that absolutely could happen, and then it's Dillard's time. But if Peters is healthy, who is the better left tackle, I don't see a huge issue with going with him because right now he's the vet and he's more reliable than Andre Dillard.
Haven't we kind of heard this story before, though, as far as fans overreacting to get young talent in the lineup? It wasn't all but the beginning of this season or mid last season when everybody wanted to trade Ertz away because
Dallas Goedert.
Goddard comes in and he has
They were dumb.
Not to your levels. Not to your
I was
levels.
saying
He's
there's no
talking about,
comparison between the two.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying not to
And
have
then
but
we
but
did have
the same aspect. One player has one good game, so let's get rid of the other pieces that have supported us to where we've
And then
gotten to.
there were people also, and not you, there were people also that were like, oh, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is going to be great this season after his one preseason game. So now we're okay. Like, it's just, I get what you're saying. Not, again, Just as like you said, you're not targeting me. We're not targeting you. But I get what he's saying. There's a thing where we get overhyped over a young guy performing really well for 1 or 2 games, where in reality, like there are still drawbacks to it. You're not looking at the big picture.
Well, I mean, why don't we just solve this thing once and for all? Bench them both, and let's bring the GOAT Mailata in, and let's fucking roll.
Oh, Jesus
Too
Christ.
bad he's on IR.
Jesus Christ.
Not the
He's
guy who's on
broken.
IR.
He's okay.
With
Rugby
his freaking
rules.
medical
Fix him.
staff.
Rugby
We'll fix
rules.
him. We'll send him the same Dr. Kevin went to for his Achilles.
You know, in Madden, my Madden franchise, I'm in the 3rd year of the franchise, and I think he just reached like a 70. So I think I can kind of start him as like a depth piece now.
Nice,
In
okay.
my third year of the franchise. So.
And to make things clear, I think I speak for myself and Chrome here. I think before the season, both of us would have been fine if we never saw Dillard play a game this season, because that would have meant, oh wait, Jason Peters actually stayed healthy.
I think with what you were saying too, you're exactly right. That was the exact quote that was used.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, if he gets hurt, I'm on Dillard.
It
and I'm
creates the
riding
perfect
Dillard.
transition, and it shows once again. Like
I was riding Dillard. If he showed, and we said if he got hurt, and he showed that he was progressing in a starting role, we would roll with him. I'm not backing off of that at this point.
Especially after, listen, if nobody's saying that either have been perfect, but Jesus Christ. Like, it's pretty, I don't know. I think it's blatant. I think it's just very strange.
To me, an injury, a guy gets hurt 1 year, I get it.
He's been the
This
exact
guy has
opposite
been-
of dependable. That's
he
why.
has-
That's where my
he-
frustration comes from.
Like, this guy hasn't just been hurt. He's been constantly hurt for 2 years.
He's not dependable to stay healthy. He's not dependable on the field, whether that's him getting burnt or the flat-out mental mistakes. Like, there's no excuse for this.
A lot of holding penalties.
And it's
against him.
consistent. If he did it for 3 straight
So
games.
are you? I'm not being facetious
No, no,
here.
no.
Are you saying that, in your opinion, you disagree with that Peters has been good when on the field? You think he's sucked? Am I getting that right? No. Again, I'm legit asking
No,
because
my point is, he hasn't been so far and above. He hasn't been perfect. He hasn't been flawless. That's where he would have had to be for me to accept him getting hurt,
Agreed.
being out, we don't even know when he's going to be back and or if, but according to the head coach, he is. It's showing the same thing to where he's not dependable. He's going to then come back in a situation where the rookie, the first-round draft pick that we traded up to get, he hasn't played perfect. Nobody's saying that. But he hasn't played below average or bad enough to lose the job, to where it'd be one thing if Jason Peters was playing at an all-time level. It was his best year statistically. He was great. There were no mental mistakes. I would be begging to have him back. He hasn't shown that in years.
And honestly, I'm not even going to take it to that extent. If he was playing at a high level to where I look at him now and he's a shell of himself. And that's just it.
He hasn't separated himself in years. That's my issue. You know what I'm saying?
If he was still even in somewhat of a fringe conversation of being one of the elite left tackle or left tackles, and I might go on board with you, Chucks.
no, he hasn't been that since he had his 2017.
Right,
No.
and that is my issue is I don't see the major drop off between him and Dillard at this point to where I can overlook the complete unreliability of this guy. Mm-hmm. And I do believe for a team that is having issues with guys in and out of the lineup for injuries, you got a guy who's been on the field and has played well when he's been on the field. Even if he's getting chips and getting help, he's played well against some of the elite talent in
Absolutely
this league.
well. He's been played well.
I would rather roll the dice on that and continue to try to develop that on the field, particularly with what I would consider a softer second half of the schedule to do that, than to bring a guy in who every play I feel like he could take one step to the left and his fucking foot could fall off or his leg could fall off. There's nothing about this guy. No play that I'm going to see this guy for the rest of his career where I'm going to have confidence that he's going to come out and play the next play. So I'm going to go with the kid who I don't see the massive drop-off. If there was a huge drop-off, I'd be all on board with you. Like I said, I'm not even going to go to Ryan's extent and say if he was playing an all-time high, And I'm not saying you're necessarily saying that
I see what you're
specifically.
saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I don't even see him playing it like a noticeable high over Dillard. I'd rather let Dillard continue the momentum and let them kind of go with that. That's just me.
Imagine the confidence that kid gets to, for example, if he sees that, okay, he's been playing well, and Jason Peters is quote-unquote ready to go, but they stick with the kid. You're sending a message to the kid. And I don't think I'm reading too far into this.
Oh, absolutely. That I
both
agree
ways,
with.
though.
I absolutely agree with.
Now, here's my question to you guys. Do you think that this is just a two-game play where obviously being two tougher games in the schedule and it's kind of a must-win out of one of them to stay close in the conversation, or you bring in the veteran just to see
For a
what's
short
left?
term.
I don't even know if he's going to play.
No, that's the funny thing. We
don't even know if he's going to play in these games.
And no, Kevin, if they do that, if you thought I was mad 5 minutes ago, if they start a carousel with the left freaking tackle.
No, I mean,
like they had
driving over.
Like they had a corner at the beginning of the season where they rotated the guy.
We don't do that.
I won't like it. But if you're going, you went out there and regardless of if he had help or not, Dillard had a lot of confidence or could have came away with a lot of confidence coming out of that game against Khalil Mack. But instead, you go, well, we're going with the old guy. And then if you, like you said, after 2 games, now we're going to go back to the young kid?
No, I'm saying
regardless of an injury? Is that what he's saying?
No, I'm saying if you're switching back to Peters to put him in there in 2 tougher games,
no,
regardless if you think you're going to have him after the fact because of injury.
No,
I'm not switching off of him if he doesn't get hurt. But I'm saying, hey, ahead of 2 tougher games, I'm going to put the guy I can depend a little bit more on.
I just think it's
when he's there.
It's too nearsighted and not looking at the long game or the big picture. I think that's too reactionary. Then, you're looking at just those 2 games instead of the bigger picture. With any decision on the field, I don't want people to there's game planning, and then when you're talking about moving guys around and on a team that has had a lot of in and out in different positions, to do that to that young kid, I think is very unfair to him. And honestly, it's unfair to Jason Peters too. If you're going to start swapping these guys around, just making a decision based off 2 mid-season games. Like you're not making a decision on a playoff game to where this is a better matchup. Jason Peters, and we're now in a position to try to win. We're putting the best players on the field to win this football game. That makes more sense. A mid-season game against 2 teams at home. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't get with that at all.
No, I hear you. I think that it's just crap. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
Holy
buddy.
Crap. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I want to get my 2 cents.
No, that's fine. I completely lost my train of thought.
For me,
go ahead, you go first.
Because I hypnotized you.
For me, I
voice.
think that this is just a turning point where you have to make a decision one way or the other. I'm not saying switch and make it a carousel at the position. I think if he is ready to go now's the time to go. Because you have to, we're all in agreement that you have to come out with at least one of these games to keep it close in the division going into the easier stretch.
I'll say this.
I think I know what you're asking.
I'll say this. I hope that he is playing the next game. Because if they made that statement with a unclear timetable of when this guy's even coming in, it wasn't even necessary to make that statement now.
Were they asked the question?
But regardless, you could say,
Oh no, I know. I was wondering, like, were they specifically asked about that?
I don't recall, but if you don't know if this guy's even going to get back for sure or when he's going to come back, you could have held that off. Let the kid roll with the confidence that he has. Make the decision later. Andre Dillard could come out and have 3 monster games our next 3 games. And Peters wasn't even ready to play on the field. And it wouldn't have even been a question because you would have been now you committed yourself openly without any certainty in the future to him. Dillard could come out and be a fucking all-pro the next. He could have that stretch that Vaitai had in the playoffs, to where Vaitai was like a stud those last 2 games in the playoffs, protecting Nick Foles.
Yep.
And how do you, with the progression he had before then, and then has those performances, now you backed yourself into a corner. It's like in baseball, a kid's coming in and he's crushing the ball and he hits 10 home runs in a month. But the guy who we replaced is now back, and he wasn't really hitting that well to begin with, and now we're going to put him in because he's the veteran.
And the frustration.
We're not going to go with the hot hand or the hot bat. I can't get my mind wrapped around that.
The frustration is also times 10 because you equate to this. What's the storyline all year with Howie Roseman? He can't draft. Here's a guy that looks like he can actually play. And the second
got a few.
The head coach is asked, after a huge win against the Bears, 2 straight wins. If there's one more, that's called a winning streak. The second after
one
that
of the greatest
game,
movie lines of all time.
he not only answers the question, because he could have answered, we'll reevaluate after the bye. There's a million filler answers Doug Peterson could have used, like he always does. He says flat out, we're going back to the old guy.
And that's the thing, because
You know what I'm saying? It's
Doug Peterson, and that's why I said I hope that he is playing now, because if they made that statement with no clear certainty, and he's not coming back for 3 games, completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree
and
with
Doug
that.
Peterson has never been one to shy away from not answering a question.
He just did it with Deshaun Jackson. He said the same press conference that Deshaun Jackson, I expect him to play against the Patriots.
Yeah.
2 hours later, out for the season. I mean, you can't make it up with this guy.
Because my thing is, it could have gone the opposite way. If he would have answered and said, no, we're going to stick with Dillard on the opposite side, what happens if he doesn't have a great game and you're like, and Peters is ready to come back?
And you're right. So you know what the best answer would have been? We don't have an answer for you right now.
Exactly.
Deflect it.
There's not. You know what? That's something we'll talk about when it becomes an issue.
There's
We're
a
on to
guy
the bye
that does
week.
that real well.
Yeah.
That would have been the way to handle it.
We're on to Cincinnati. That's all we had to. That's all we had to say.
No huddle,
There's
guys.
This guy that does that real well up in New England.
At least, listen. This is what
He
fam
doesn't
does.
talk. He doesn't talk.
This
Kevin.
is what fam does. We yell, we argue, we get our frustrations out, and then we stop and calmly talk about it so we can understand where we come from.
Oh no, I'm still yelling.
Yeah. Ryan's really fired up. It's funny because
It's
I
like
can tell,
my
I can
mentality.
tell by Ryan's face when you asked the question. This was one of the ones he was really fired up about, and I'm just here right off the bat. That's why I said right off the bat, I'm like, I don't mind it either way. I'm really not that passionate about it.
And I don't hate Jason Peters. I appreciate him. You don't understand how awesome it was while seeing other teams all throughout the
Honestly,
league.
Jason Peters' number should be retired with the Eagles, in my opinion.
It has to be.
Throughout the last handful of years to where everyone else is worried about left tackle, and we know, we at least have Jason Peters for 8 games. But at least we have Jason Peters. So it's great. I don't hate the guy, but I saw it with the Phillies. It took us way too long to move on from Rollins, Utley, Howard, Chooch, for example.
And of all guys that they decided to do it with, they decided to do it with Brian Dawkins.
Oh, God.
They pulled the cord on that one too early.
Can we not visit that? Well, here's what I will say about the last thing you said. I absolutely agree with that. You have to know when it's time to move on. I think they signed Peters before the draft. They didn't know if they were going to get a future left tackle. You can't go in the season with Big V at left tackle. No. So I think them signing Peters to another 1-year deal because of the uncertainty was the absolute right move. And them getting Dillard was the sign like, this is it. This is the final year of the Jason Peters thing. And Jason Peters probably knows it too. He's probably like, this is my last year. And he's finally with it. That was probably part of the conversation when this contract was signed. Yeah. So I think this is that transition year. I honestly would be 100% surprised and 100% against it if Jason Peters comes back next year. I would I'm certain about that above almost anything else, that he will not be back next year. That's why I think this year it's not that big of a deal if you are going to ease Dillard in, and as long as Peters is here, let him play it out, and then Dillard will be fine. Everyone knows he's the future, so I don't think you jeopardize that just by playing Peters. Is what
we're up against. Let's get a quick no huddle in. Anything, Kevin?
Colin Kaepernick back in the news, trying out with the NFL in his private workout. So that's something to take a look at. I doubt it will go anywhere, but he's trying again.
Yes, he is.
If it works out for him, that's great.
Yeah.
My issue was never anything that he did off the field. My issues were always that he sucked as a quarterback before any of that stuff happened.
He wasn't great.
He had one great year, and then the league
caught up to him
and exposed, and he couldn't adjust. And I don't understand how people can't look at this guy outside of that one great year and realize that this guy sucks.
I do think he was still better than Blake Bortles. I mean,
Listen,
there
I
are
mean,
there are some quarterbacks that are pretty damn bad.
I don't know that I would argue with you on
Yeah.
that. Well, I do know. I would not argue with you on that. But anything for you, Chucks?
Yeah, Disney Plus. I watched a few shows after work. Before I came here, we watched The Mandalorian, Star Wars Geek, which was
Stupid.
awesome. Episode 1.
So stupid.
We watched the Disney short Float about the Filipino father and son, which was cute. It's about 7 minutes long.
Of course
It's
you
cute.
did.
And what's a new Disney short? You gotta watch it regardless. And then also I watched
But
a
he
little
went
bit
right
of
to the Filipino one, though.
my favorite Disney movie, Hercules. They had an animated show on Disney Channel shortly after, a little bit after.
When
the
he was
movie.
like a teenager.
When he was a
or something,
teenager,
right?
we watched like an episode of that. It's Disney Plus. I had it. I think that the servers were down this morning because of everything registered.
Yeah, the overload. They
But
got it fixed.
I am very excited. They seem to keep adding more and more stuff to it as it goes on. I'm very excited, and I'm looking forward to watching a lot of old school Disney stuff.
I remember like the Disney afternoon, so like Darkwing Duck, Tailspin.
Oh yes,
Tailspin, Bonkers, Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I'm excited to watch all that stuff.
yes.
And I loved the old cartoons. Like my favorite Mickey was always the original, Steamboat Willie. So like I'm gonna go back and watch a lot of that. They haven't added yet that I really like. I grew up on and loved was back when like the old Disney cartoons, and it pertains to sports, was Goofy's Wide World of Sports.
Oh yeah,
Where they would have all the shorts with
Yeah.
him doing all the different things.
Yeah.
I looked today. I didn't see that added yet, but I really do want to kind of go back and rewatch those. So and they'll have that on eventually. And all the Marvel stuff. I mean,
Yeah, it's on
if
there.
you have not caught Marvel movies, this is your chance now to go back and watch any Marvel movie that you so wish and desire.
Captain America trilogy was the best, and then Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy were
Winter Soldier.
also were there.
Winter Soldier is the best
It's
Marvel movie
it,
ever,
it
in
was
my opinion.
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
The Winter Soldier and Civil War to me are like neck and neck.
Yeah,
but
I love
like,
Civil War.
I
too.
can't argue. You can't argue against like
Yeah.
either of them. Love them.
My quick one, and it's interesting because I didn't realize it, but they announced the managers of the year. Rocco Baldelli, awesome for him, by the way, a guy whose career was cut short because of a medical issue. He was the manager of the Twins rookie year, took them to their first division title since 2010. So good for him. I'm happy for him. Also for my team, the Cardinals, Mike Schilt. A guy who the one thing you always want with a manager is to help to win and to help develop your young talent. And unlike my days of the hashtag Fire Matheny, who ruined every young player, Mike Schilt has developed young player. You look at young pitchers like Jack Flaherty and Dakota Hudson, and you see what they've done. Under his watchful eye, and some of the young fielders and stuff. A lot of guys. I mean, Colton Wong won his first Gold Glove, had a career year with him, and. For all intents and purposes, you kind of say they overachieved in a lot of ways. But what's crazy about it is he won his first manager of the year, and first manager in baseball history to win manager of the year and have never played a professional out in baseball. That's crazy to me. It just goes to show you sometimes, I think James Wilder, part of the fam, had said to me, hockey's a sport that you can kind of use it as an example. Sometimes guys or sports groom just coaches. Maybe not guys who have the experience on the ice or on the field, but
Coaching.
are taught to learn how to coach, learn the ins and outs of the game, and coach it. And, I know the guy played. I think he played college baseball, but never played in the pros. So I thought that was really fascinating. It's always really hard in Major League Baseball with how long of a history the game has that there's a first of something of that nature. So I thought it was a pretty cool fact.
That's awesome.
It's a regular season award. You always win a championship, but I'll take what I can get. So, good show, guys. Great show. I'm going to miss you, fam, next week. Do you have anything, Ryan?
As
You good?
always.
No, I'm on 2 shows tomorrow. I got to save my voice.
All right.
Chrome's are like a bi-weekly.
I'm on a bi-weekly
Bi-weekly
rotation.
host.
I'm hanging out with Gritty next week. Flyers have looked really good. That's another real
God.
quick one.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh,
The Flyers are winning shootouts,
look
guys.
at the young guys stepping up. Speaking of young guys, right?
Listen, the Flyers are really exciting to watch. I know as of the other day they were third in the Metro. I haven't followed the standings since then.
That's
but
right. They're letting the kid play. They're not going to Elliott. That's right.
Elliott has played very well this year, though.
Elliott played well during that stretch where Hart was
He's
struggling.
had a couple holding penalties on him, though, so it's fine. I'm done. All right. Goodbye.
But listen, I mean, if you guys aren't watching the Flyers at this point, I'm telling you, they're a really young, really exciting team. I love the head coach, Lane Vigneault.
God, yeah, that system looks really good.
They are aggressive, they are fast, and a much, much more entertaining team than you've probably seen over the last 4 or 5 years.
I'm really impressed. Really impressed with TK, obviously.
Konechny.
19th in points.
Farabee has been a stud since he
Oh
came
my
up.
God, Farabee has been a lightning bug out on the ice. Love him.
And Coots Couturier.
Yeah.
Dude's balling, man. They're really exciting to watch.
Puckin, not balling. They don't play with the ball.
Well, whatever. You're right. But guys, great show. Appreciate you. I'll be hanging with Gritty next week while these guys are on the air, battling it out with the Patriots Eagles recap. Maybe I'll call in if I get a chance.
Yes.
Depending on what time I get home.
We'll be trying to comfort
Kevin depending on
over
what
here.
time the show ends or the thing I'm at
Second
ends.
half?
Maybe I'll pop in for the second half
There
if
you
I
go.
can.
We'll see.
But no promises. But thank you to our sponsors, Specialized Physical Therapy, our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal, as well as ATS Sports Picks. Again, guys, ATSSportsPicks.com. Use the promo code A2D. Get 20% off first-time packages. Win some money, guys. We love to see the family succeed. For Chrome, Mr. Brodo, Mr. Chucks, Mr. Godwin, Eagles Pats, let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly. Have a great week.